Hey guys! Today we're going to be taking a look at the Peter McKinnon and Nomatic camera travel pack. And I was really excited when this was first announced just because I'm a big Peter McKinnon fan and I'm a big fan of Nomatic's products. However, I was a little bit hesitant to back the Kickstarter at first, just given the fact that this was such a pro photographer focused bag. There's a lot of features here that felt like they'd be a little bit of overkill for the gear that I normally like to carry with me. However, after taking a closer look, it really started to remind me a lot of the Peak Design travel bag, and I really enjoyed using that bag. I loved kind of the layout, and it seemed like this could have a similar layout, so I thought it would actually work very well for traveling, and that's kind of what the focus of this video will be my experience using this and testing it out as a travel bag as opposed to a pure camera bag. So lots of great stuff here. The bag is very comfortable to wear. It has a fantastic build quality, lots of organizational options, so I'm just really excited to walk through it with you guys. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting out with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. This definitely feels like a Nomatic bag. It has an all black appearance. It looks very modern, but it does look a lot more rounded than some of the bags that I featured from them in the past, which is something that I always had an issue with. I didn't really like their kind of boxy appearance, so really like kind of the smoothness of the lines here. And then on top of that, it also just has some nice additional touches that come from that collaboration with Peter McKinnon. So it has some of this webbing here along on the front. The zipper pulls just have a nice amount of branding, and then it also has this really nice logo on the front that has kind of a metallic material to give it that little bit of more premium feel. So just a really great looking bag all around, and then the fact that it's all black and a little bit more rounded makes it look sleeker, even though it's a pretty large bag. So really like the overall aesthetic. It definitely feels like it's going to fit in well into a variety of environments, whether you're walking around the city or taking this into the outdoors. As far as the materials, the bag is made out of a durable feeling kind of tarpaulin-like material on the outside. This definitely feels like it's going to offer a nice amount of weather resistance, and then it has very well protected zippers all throughout that seem to have nice aqua guards. I haven't seen YKK branding on all of the zippers. Some of them are very clearly marked as YKK, but some of these larger ones I haven't quite been able to find anywhere where it indicates what the branding is. So far they felt great, they feel durable, they open and close very smoothly, but I will have to follow up to see if all of them are YKK or if only some of the smaller ones throughout the bag are. With that being said, the bag does feel very durable and like it's going to hold up to rougher usage. The one thing that I will mention about this kind of tarpaulin and shinier like material is that this does have a little bit of a tendency to scratch. I haven't had any issues just yet, but because this is a bag that you do place face down to open the main area, as we'll see in a little bit, I can see there being a little bit of scratching building up here in the future. And then even though the bag's materials do feel really weather resistant on their own, the bag also includes a removable rain cover that you can throw on to just add some additional protection if you happen to get caught in some harder rain. Continuing along the outside, you have 4 grab handles that are going to make it really easy to throw this into an overhead storage compartment or into the back of a truck. So at the top, you have a very well padded and comfortable handle that's going to make it very easy to pick the bag up. I really like the gel-like padding added here. And then for the ones on the sides and then on the bottom, it doesn't have that same gel-like padding, but it's still a really durable and padded handle, and it's just really nice that pretty much anywhere that you need to grab the bag from, it's going to be very easy to do so. Also along the outside, you have one external water bottle pocket, which is really well implemented here. It offers a nice amount of space. Currently what I have in here is the same water bottle that you've seen in all my other travel bag videos, and that fits in there really comfortably. I love the amount of elasticity that this compartment has, making it very easy to hold something a little bit bulkier. And then it's really nice that this also has a magnet on the flap so that if you don't have anything in this compartment, it just kind of hugs the bag and keeps a very sleek look. And then on top of the fact that this compartment is pretty deep, it's also nice that at the top here, it has this little webbing that you can pair with some straps that the bag actually includes that you can remove. And this is gonna be great for strapping something like a tripod or an umbrella. Anything that's a little bit taller that you don't want falling out of this compartment, you can attach these here to secure it a little bit better. And then it's also nice that you have this webbing on the front that I was mentioning a little bit earlier. This is another great spot where you can clip on these straps that are gonna give you a little bit more versatility with what you can attach on the front. So I really like the use of these straps for attaching things like a yoga mat or a larger tripod, and I really like that you can actually just fully remove them for when you don't want to use them. This is very similar to what we've seen in bags like the Wandered Provoke, and it's always a really nice feature to have. And then jumping into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 35 liters, which is a really great travel bag size in my opinion. I was easily able to hold all the items that I would normally take with me on a 1 to 2 week trip. So plenty of space. I don't even know how much camera gear someone would have to carry to be able to fill this bag up completely, but for traveling it has been a fantastic size. And this is normally a pretty good size for taking onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. And then on top of that, I really like that because the bag has a sleeker look, it really hugs my back pretty well. Even when it's fully packed out, it doesn't really look that big or stick out awkwardly. It's still making it pretty good for walking around crowded areas such as a city or jumping onto public transit. If you are somebody that has to carry a lot of camera gear, or you just like to travel for a little bit longer and you don't want to pack as minimally, the bag does have the ability to expand out to 42 liters. So it has this zipper that goes all the way around that gives you this additional capacity. So when the bag is expanded out, it doesn't look quite as sleek, so it will be a little bit more difficult to navigate crowded areas or to even stick this into an overhead storage compartment. But it is nice to have the flexibility to have some additional capacity, especially if you're wanting to use this for more of a road trip or for traveling by train. As far as the weight, however, the bag is on the heavier side. It comes in at around 5 pounds, which is a lot for a travel bag, especially if you're traveling on airlines with stricter weight restrictions. So even though the bag doesn't look that big, if you have to weigh it, there is a good chance that it's going to get flagged just because it's so heavy. And then once you start filling it up, it will likely pass a lot of the smaller airlines restrictions. So normally I don't have to worry about this too much, especially if I don't pack the bag out to its extreme capacity, as it doesn't look that big, but just something to keep in mind if this is something that you're hoping to take with you on a lot of different airlines. And then continuing on with the straps on the back paneling, the bag has been very comfortable to wear. I really like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a nice amount of thick padding here. On the inside, they have this meshing material to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps also have a pretty nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders, even when you're wearing it with a lot of weight. And then at the top, you also have these load lifters, which are going to be really great for kind of tweaking how the bag sits on your back. This works particularly well for a bag like this just because it's a little bit taller, so it's nice to be able to pull that load a little bit closer to you to make it easier to carry. The last thing I'll mention on the straps is that there's also an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. Continuing on with the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. It has a nice amount of padding here, and then the padding also has some great elevation to create these air channels to help with airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. One thing that I will note about the padding is that it doesn't have the same meshing material that we saw on the strap, so it does tend to get a little bit more sweaty. Personally, for me, I would have preferred to have seen this type of material here, but overall, the back paneling has still felt really great. And then it also has this nice logo from Pete's Pirate Life. I really like the inclusion of the skull. It just looks really cool, and it's nice to kind of feel that Peter McKinnon branding infused all throughout the bag. While we're on the back paneling, another nice feature here is that it has this luggage pass-through that allows you to rest this on a suitcase if you happen to be traveling with another bag to save some weight on your back. And then down at the bottom, the bag also includes a removable waist belt that offers a nice amount of padding and support for when you're carrying the bag with a lot of weight. This on its own is a pretty heavy bag, so it's nice to have this included as part of the bag. You can take this out very easily. In order to do so, you just kind of thread this through. There's a little bit of Velcro on the back of this compartment and on the strap, so it's really easy to get it on and off. And I really like that the waist belt is fully removable as opposed to being tucked away as we saw in the Peak Design travel backpack. This is really nice so that if you don't like using the waist belt, you don't have it kind of dangling around. And then the way that it's integrated here, it really does help take a lot of the weight off your back if you need that extra bit of help. Jumping into the organizational options, I really like all the different pockets that the bag has to make your stuff very easy to find while you're running around throughout the day. So first up, you just have a simple quick access pocket here on the front, plenty of space. And on the inside, I was really impressed with just how much volume this offers. Great for holding even some bulkier accessories. So jumping in, the first thing that I have here is just my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. And then I also have a lightning cable to charge my phone and my tablet. And then you also have a lanyard with a small plastic clip, which is going to be a great spot for storing something like your keys or a multi-tool, which is what I currently have here. And so a nice amount of space overall. Even with the items that I had in there was still some leftover space. I can easily fit my whole hand. The compartment is fairly deep. It goes down to about the midpoint of the bag. And then on the inside of the compartment, you have this little magnetic divider here, which is going to be great for storing something a little bit more sensitive. This is an RFID protected area, so it's going to be a great spot for storing something like your passport or your wallet. What I currently have here is just a Field Notes notebook to kind of showcase the size, but I was impressed with kind of how deep even this area went. So I really like the separation of the compartments and how easy everything is to use. And then this flap is secured with a pretty strong magnet. And then on the inside of this compartment, you also have another pirate skull logo along with the Fly the Flag motto. The next area that we're going to take a look at is a larger organizational area, and this is also what the Nomatic site calls kind of the clothing compartment. And so before jumping in, the first thing I'll mention is this area and the main compartment do have a locking zipper, so that's a really nice kind of security feature, especially since this is a little bit more of a travel focused bag. And then I really like that this compartment opens up fully flat to allow you to pack it out really easily and really be able to see all the different organizational options that it has. So on the inside of this compartment, you have a bunch of different slip pockets that are going to be great for some of those smaller accessories that you don't want kind of floating around. And so first up here, there's like a compression strap that's going to be great, especially if you use this for packing out some of your clothes. It's going to help keep everything in place. And so it has this little metallic hook that you can undo if you want to just kind of get it out of the way, but you're still able to get to most of the slip pockets even when that's closed up. And so one thing that I noticed about kind of the entire bag is there's not a whole lot of smaller compartments, so there's just a lot of kind of larger elastic areas, which is great when you have bulkier accessories. In my case, for something smaller such as the nail clipper and stylish that I normally like to carry with me, there was no little kind of slots, but they were able to fit in here very comfortably. And then in this one here, I just have my portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. And so I really like the use of these larger elastic compartments. So this would be a great spot for storing maybe some of my tech accessories as well, such as my laptop charger. So really like the versatility here, and then it's nice that they just lay flat if you don't want to use any of these pockets. And then this is actually the compartment that expands in the expansion that we showed earlier to take the bag from 35 to 42 liters. This is the area where you'll get that additional capacity if you need to pack some extra clothing, a jacket, an extra pair of shoes. So really nice versatility added here for when you have to carry a little bit more stuff. Moving on to the flap of this area, you have two mesh zippered compartments that are going to be great for storing other smaller accessories. So a nice amount of volume in these compartments, and I really like that you can actually see what's in each area. So I left this bottom one empty, and then at the top I just threw in my Apple Magic Mouse, but there was still plenty of leftover space. So this will be great if you want to throw in some toiletries or maybe just some of your tech accessories. And then behind that, there is another larger mesh zippered area that opens up, and this is going to be a great spot for storing maybe a jacket or some of your clothes if you have a lot of stuff in this compartment. For me, I just chose to use this for some of the larger things that didn't fit into the slip pockets in the other area of the bag, but that I didn't want just kind of floating around. So I just have a little Maxpedition pouch that has some of my EDC and tech items, and then I also have a full-size moleskin notebook. The next area that we're going to take a look at is the laptop compartment. And so this has a really nice side access zipper with a lot of protection to help keep your device protected from the elements. So opening this up, it's really easy to get your laptop in and out, and it has plenty of space. This will definitely be able to hold up to a 15-inch laptop. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro, and it's kind of getting swallowed up here. You can see there's some leftover space at the top. And then on the inside, it has this soft kind of fleece lining to help protect against scratching. And I really like that this fleece lining is actually on both sides of the compartment, so a nice amount of protection here. And then a really nice thing is that the compartment is actually suspended off the bottom of the ground, so it adds a nice amount of protection even if you happen to place your bag down a little bit harder. And so pulling my laptop out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It comes up a decent amount, so if you have a slightly thicker device, it should be able to fit in there okay, although I would be a little bit concerned about some uncomfortable bulging forming here. But regardless, for most modern laptops, it should be fine. So just a nice amount of space and padding, and it definitely feels like my laptop should be very well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. The last area that we're going to take a look at is the main compartment. And before jumping in, the first thing that I will call out is that the bag does have a side access zipper, especially if you're pairing this with some of the camera accessories. You can reach in and grab your camera quickly while you're running around, so you don't actually have to take the bag all the way off. For me, since I chose to use this as more of a travel bag than a camera bag, I didn't really take full advantage of this, but even in a travel bag, I've always found this to be kind of a nice feature, especially if you pack your bag strategically. You can place something like a jacket or your toiletries in this area to make them easy to grab while you're going through TSA. And so jumping into the main area, this has a full clamshell style opening, which is always really nice for easier packing. I really like that you can definitely see everything that's in the main area, and so just a nice bucket of space. Again, 35 liters is always a really nice amount of capacity. And so what I currently have in here is the same items that you've seen in all my other travel bag videos that I normally use for a week to 2 week trip, and the bag isn't even overpacked. There's still some leftover space if I wanted to place one of the packable bags that I normally like to take with me. And so jumping into what I currently have here, first up, I just have a smaller packing cube that has some of my socks and underwear and smaller clothing items. And then next up, I have a pair of Toms that I take with me on pretty much every trip, and then another flatter pair of sneakers. And then the last item that I have here is my double-sided and compressible packing cube from Arkedo that has my jeans and shirts and some of my larger clothing items. And so now with the compartment empty, you can see just plenty of space. When the bag doesn't have anything else in it, it's just a really big bucket, and it made it very easy to pack everything out the way that I normally like to with packing cubes. So this is just great for modular style packing. And then the bag also has a nice amount of rigidity, which is going to add some additional protection for anything more delicate that you need to place in here. Now, one con with having this sort of rigidity is it's a little bit harder to kind of squeeze this into tighter spaces. If there's an overhead storage area that's a little bit more filled out, it can be a little bit tricky, but overall I think it's a fair trade-off for the additional protection that this adds, and it also just makes packing a little bit easier in my opinion. And so on the inside of this compartment, you can see that there's that same soft kind of fleece lining that we saw in the laptop area. And what this is meant to pair with is a ton of Velcro dividers that are included with the bag. So there are tons of ways that you can configure this main area, especially if you're somebody that likes to carry a lot of camera and tech gear. If you have drones and lenses, there's gonna be so many different ways that you can configure this to meet your particular needs. And so I really like the durability of the different dividers that have been offered. On the inside, you again have the Pete's Pirate Life logo. And so there's just tons of these, and the Velcro here is very strong. It's very easy to kind of configure everything. And it feels like once you set it up, it's really gonna stay in place. So really like how securely everything holds. When you get the bag, it's actually already assembled for you in the way that Peter McKinnon kind of likes to use the bag. So it has all the different compartments laid out. I was actually a little bit scared to take everything apart when I got it because I know that I'll never be able to get it back into its original shape. But for me, again, it's not something that I would normally use, but I really like all the flexibility that they offer and how many different dividers are here that are included with the bag, and you can just kind of take everything out. So if you're like me and you just want to use this for traveling, or you just don't need that many different configurable options, you can take all of this out and then just have a simple amount of space that you can use however you please. And then moving into the flap for this main compartment, you have two additional mesh zippered areas that have a nice amount of volume, and these are meant to pair with the different accessories that the Peter McKinnon system has. So there's the case for your lenses, for your batteries, for the SD cards. Again, I didn't get any of the lenses, I only got the bag, but these compartments are still really useful. And then because they have the volume to support those cases, you can store something a little bit larger in here. So again, if you have cables or toiletries that you want to keep a little bit more separated or that didn't fit in other areas of the bag, this is going to be a great place to store them and be able to get to them very quickly. And then on the back of this compartment, you have one additional sleeve that has this Velcro closure here. And this is gonna be a great spot to put something like a tablet. This is actually a pretty large compartment. It goes pretty deep. So it's gonna be able to hold probably the 12-inch iPad Pro. In my case, I just have my iPad mini and it kind of just sinks down there near towards the bottom. So a little bit big. And then on the inside of this compartment, this sleeve has an okay amount of padding. It's a little bit more padded than your standard slip pocket, but still doesn't really feel like it offers that much extra protection. The back of the compartment, however, is pretty well padded. So overall, just a nice place to make sure that you can grab your tablet really easily. And then in general, I really loved all the different organizational options offered in this main area of the bag and all throughout. It's been really comfortable to use. It feels very well made. And if you're looking for a camera backpack that's gonna work really well for travel and hold up great over the longer term, this is gonna be a good option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a really great experience testing out the Peter McKinnon and Nomatic camera travel pack over the past couple of weeks. The bag has been really comfortable to wear, it has a great build quality, some really nice organizational options, and I just really like the overall aesthetic. And so you can currently purchase this on Nomatic's site starting at around $3.99 for just the bag that we saw in this video. So this doesn't include any of the accessories featured in the Kickstarter campaign, such as the Cube Pack or some of the other accessory cases. So this is just for the bag. As you start bundling things together, you can save a little bit, but if you add all the accessories, the bag is gonna start pushing the $500 price point. So this is definitely a premium price. And the bag does offer a really nice build quality and it's very unique. It has a lot of interesting features, but there are a lot of other great bags in this price range or for even less that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag that this made me think of was the Peak Design Travel Backpack, which is another really premium price bag that offers a lot of interesting features, a really solid build quality. It's a very unique and stylish bag that also has kind of a travel and camera focus. I really like all the different options that bag had for accessing the main area, and it also had a nice amount of expandability and compressibility. And I don't think the harness system for that one is going to be as comfortable as this one, but if you want something that's going to offer just a little bit more versatility and still provide a really nice kind of camera ecosystem, that's going to be a great option to consider. The next bag this made me think of is the Wander Provoke, which is one of the most versatile camera bags that we've featured on the channel. It's really durable, it offers a ton of weather resistance, it's very comfortable. It also has a really nice kind of ecosystem of accessories, especially if you have to carry a lot of camera gear. And it has a little bit of a different layout. That one has more of a roll top style opening to add some additional expandability, but it can also open flat for easy access. It's not gonna have quite as many organizational options as this, and I don't really like the aesthetic as much, but if you're looking for something that's gonna be a little bit less but still offer a ton of versatility and protection for your camera gear, that's going to be one of the best options to check out. If you like the aesthetic and features of Nomatic's bags, but you just need more of a pure travel bag and you want to save a little bit of money, I also recommend taking a look at Nomatic's just 40-liter travel bag. It has a pretty similar capacity to this. It's just a pure travel bag that has kind of a duffel style opening that makes it very easy to pack out. It can hold a ton of stuff. It's very comfortable to wear. It has a really comfortable harness system and waist belt. Tons of great organizational options, a solid build quality, and if you're looking for just a versatile travel bag that's going to come in at a lower price point than this, that's going to be a great option to check out. The last option that I'll mention here is the GoRuck GR2, which is another bag in this price range, so very premium pricing, but it's going to hold up very well over the longer term. That's been one of my favorite travel bags to use over the past couple of years. It has a nice organizational layout, plenty of space. I really like the versatility that it has from the MOLLE webbing to allow you to customize it with a variety of accessories. It's not as camera focused as this bag. Of course, it's just more of a pure travel bag, but if that's what you're looking for and you just normally need to carry something like a camera cube that you can kind of toss inside, and you're looking for a bag that's going to be with you for many years to come, that's still going to be one of the best options to check out. With that being said, the Peter McKinnon and Nomatic Camera Travel Pack compares really well to all those bags, and if you're looking for a durable and comfortable travel bag that's going to offer a lot of features for carrying some camera gear and you have a little bit of a higher budget, then this is going to be a good option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of this collaboration between Nomatic and Peter McKinnon, and if there are any similar options that you think I should feature on the channel. As always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. And if you found this video useful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And we'll see you in the next one.